Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. We have some big news today with, well, of course, we got a 10x going on this weekend. That's not the big news. We have the actual skills of the new dungeons that will be coming into Raid, right? We're gonna have the new hard mode dungeons for each of the 4 ones that we have. So Fire Knight, Dragon, Spider, and Ice Golem will be renewed in a hard mode version with new skills, and that is the important thing we will be covering in this video. And I'm so disappointed for one of the skills that they added, because it's a real turn in where PLARIUM wants the player base to be going, and it's very unfortunate. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. We're going to cover, of course, the skills first, and then at the end I'll cover what the 10x does. Will be for the weekend. That is not so important, and I highly suggest that people don't summon during this 10x, because probably we're gonna have more stuff coming in for Raid's 4th anniversary, which is probably in March. So save your shards. It's probably gonna be fusions. Only go for the champions if you really want them, and nothing else that might come in the future might even, be important for you. So that being said, let's get started with the skills of each of the bosses. And I think we're gonna start with the one that's the easiest one. We're gonna start with the Dragon. We're gonna go to the Ice Golem, and then we're gonna leave the Spider and the Fire Knight to the end. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so here's Tainted Hellraiser, the hard mode version of the Dragon. It's a reskinned green version of the Dragon, and it starts with an AoE attack, places a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. That is pretty strong, applying a decrease attack by a boss on your own team, and he will be hitting hard. We know that from the videos already. Attacks all enemies on his A2, places 4 5% poison debuffs and a 25% weaken. Also places a 50% increased attack buff on the boss for 2 turns. That is pretty insane in terms of both the cooldown and the duration of this buff. And then fully depletes the Terminator of all enemies. Wow, look at that. Unlocks a secret skill, Toxic Incineration. So the Dragonic Gaze. I'm guessing that will be something that he does every 3 turns. That will be completely hard to go against. The fully depletion of your own Terminator. I'm guessing with high resistance you can actually go against that, and maybe using an increased resist buff can go a long way. But it also all depends on the stats of the bosses, which you don't know already, but I'm guessing the stats of the bosses, they're going to be closer to how the Doom Tower bosses are currently in Raid. So having like 330 350 accuracy requirements, and in terms of resistance, like 450 is what you need, honestly. And the speeds might be also high, but this is all just guesswork. I have no actual information about this. So going into the next part, attacks all enemies. This attack deals pure damage, so that will ignore any defense that you have. It's pure damage. That is insane. Toxic Incineration, that's his secret skill. Places stun debuff for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted. That is when you cannot go through the boss's shield, by the way. Instantly activates any 5% poison debuffs on the target. The damage received by each target depends on how many more turns the poison debuffs placed on them would be active. Okay, like any explosion of poisons. This skill will be locked and hidden again if Tainted Hellraiser takes enough damage while this skill is unlocked. Yeah, so you gotta go through the shield very fast, so you gotta have the damage even with the decreased attack on you. Enemy max HP champions will be huge here. And then he's immune, of course, to stun, free sleep, provoke, block actives. That looks like the same thing that he was always immune to. And I'm guessing also Terminator reduction. It's not written here, but he should be immune to Terminator reduction. This is where the most pay to win thing comes into play, guys. Decreases the damage inflicted by the boss for each awakening level on the target champion. 2.5% for levels 1 to 2, 5% for levels 3 to 6, stacks up to 25. And the same thing goes on the other side. Increases the damage received by the boss for each awakening level. What is happening, PLARIUM? This is not the I 100% did not expect this to happen. Like, this is 100% pay to win. This is 100% pay to win, because it is extremely hard to get awakenings. I don't know what they're doing, honestly. I don't know. This is going from bad to worse and to it's, I don't understand it. I don't understand their logic behind this. Okay, damage from skills to scale based on enemy max HP cannot exceed 10% of the boss's max HP when attacking the boss. So overall, the boss seems very, very manageable, and especially when you got awakenings, it's gonna be much easier. Now, it gives a lot of pressure to players to have awakenings, and for the endgame players to also push their full team to have fully awakened skills. This is insane in terms of what they've done. You will still be limited to the 10% of health in terms of damage for your enemy max HP champion. So using your Seer, using Acrisia, Cold Heart, Royal Guard, Husk, all of those champions which are great in dungeons will still be affected by the awakened weakness. So I'm guessing you won't need that much the awakenings for that. But probably for the Fire Knight, which all of the bosses have this unique passive, right? The awakened senses. All of the bosses have this. This is very disappointing. What I want to see with PLARIUM is going in a little bit heavy in terms of increasing the ways for us to get awakenings for our champions, because even me as a spender, very minimal spender on awakenings compared to, you know, just buying every awakening pack out there, the soulstone packs, I don't have all of my champions. I don't even have half of my good champions with awakenings yet, and I've been doing the Iron Twins every single day with the refresh. So it just comes to showing how rare the awakenings are and how strong they are now with this new content because of this passive. All right, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's continue on to the next skill, Tainted, to next champion, the next boss. My God, this had me so angry. I was looking at the content creator chat. I was typing in. The only thing I typed in was like, "What the hell is this? What in the pay to win hell is this?" Something like that. I typed in, and then I just exited because I wanted to record the video by the time we will be able to post it. But yeah, let's have a look at the Ice Golem. AoE attack on the A1, AoE on the A2, plus decreased accuracy debuff and decreasing thermometer. That is pretty insane. 4-turn cooldown plus a big cleanse on the boss. That is important, but it still shows that you can still use debuffs on the boss, like decreased defense, decreased attack, and HP burns. He's going to be immune to poisons, by the way. Attacks all enemies one time whenever Painted Colossus HP drops below 80, 60, 45, 30, and 15%. This is what he always had before. And when his allies are on, he would do an ignore defense. So that was his skills before. They didn't change anything like that. Only his A2 has now changed. And then he's also immune to poison sensitivity, and receives 10% more damage from HP burn debuffs. 10% is not that much, but it still shows on how strong this can be. Whenever an HP burn debuff is activated on his minions, destroys the minions max HP by 5%. Whenever a smite debuff is activated, destroys the minions max HP by 10%. Destroyed max HP cannot exceed 50%. So smite is very limited on how you will actually use it, because there is the chance that smite goes on the minions, and that will actually cause the run to fail. Well, not the run, I mean the skill to fail. You won't have it activate if it's on the minions. The minions only have one skill, right? And then in terms of Tainted immunity, he's going to be immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block active skills, block passive skills, fear, true fear, and petrification debuffs, plus immune to HP exchange, HP balancing, and cooldown increasing. So far it seems that both the dragon and the ice golem will be susceptible to thermometer control. I'm very curious about this, and if this is something that we still have in the game showing. Maybe they forgot to add it, but if I go onto the dungeons and let's say I go click on Dragon's Lair, click on here, boss guide, it's probably gonna show that it doesn't show, wait, cooldown decrease, it doesn't say thermometer control, but he is immune to thermometer control, which is very weird. They probably just didn't show it. So I'm guessing dragon will still be susceptible to thermometer control, and not susceptible to thermometer control, and ice golem will be like he is right now, but it's not really a strategy that we use for the boss. Then let's have a look at the spider. All right, Attacks all enemies, damage increased by 15% if the target is under poisons. Attacks all enemies, decrease the turn meter by 30% if a target's turn meter is fully depleted. Places a sleep debuff for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted. That is something he had already, the spider. And then spawns 6 tainted spiderlings at the start of the round. 6 only? Spawns 2 tainted spiderlings at the start of each enemy champion's turn. Spawns 4 at the end of Tainted Scavag's turn. Tainted Scavag can have a maximum of 10 spiderlings up. Yeah, so this is a little bit different. Consumes all spiderlings at the start of each turn. If Scavag consumes tainted spiderlings, she will not consume them on the following turn. Okay, this is a very weird passive. So her consumption is no longer a skill. This will be a passive. Wow. And heals from lifesteal artifacts and skills that heal based on damage inflicted will only heal champions by 35% of the stated amount when attacking Tainted Scavag or her Tainted Spiraling. So you will no longer be able to use any cheese tactics with a tanky champion in the lifesteal set and doing stuff like that. And then the boss will be immune to heal reduction, decreased speed, HP burn debuffs, as well as turn meter reduction effects. Whenever an HP burn debuff is activated on the Tainted Spiderlings, heals Tainted Scavag by 1% of her max HP. Okay, so you will not be able to apply the HP burn on the boss, but you will be able to apply it on the spiderlings. And with only 1% of their health as healing. So you'll be able to do 3% damage by each HP burn, and the boss will heal by 1%. So it's 10 spiderlings, you'll be doing 30% per HP burn round of ticks, and the boss will be healing by 1%. So you basically do 20% damage from all that. Yeah, I can still probably see HP burn being useful here. And also, when spiderlings die, you'll be doing 3% damage to the boss. So you could potentially do 30% there, and then another maybe 60% from 3 rounds of HP burns. 60%, because it's gonna be HP burn, heal, HP burn, heal, HP burn, heal. Yeah. So and then immunity to everything. The awakenings will be affecting that, and then everything else that every other boss has. So yeah, the spider looks interesting. This passive with the healing and all looks very interesting as well. You don't want the big spider to be taking turns, and it will be a difficult dungeon for sure. And then finally, for Tainted Pharaoh, the Fire Knight, it's gonna be a big AoE attack, decreasing your max HP. When destroying max HP, will ignore shield buffs. That is huge. On his A1, he'll be ignoring shield buffs. So I'm wondering on how hard his A1 will be hitting. A2 will be also applying decreased speed and decreased defense, which is probably irresistible. It doesn't say cannot be resisted, but it's probably resistible. Destroys enemy max HP by 15%. Wow, that's huge. With all this destroy of max HP. And then start the battle with a Divine Shield. That's the shield that the boss has. It's going to be on 21 on the hardest difficulty for the boss. And it's, I think, 12 or 15 for the starting hard mode level 1. So have that in mind. Yeah, the shield cannot be removed by skills that removes buffs. Each hit Tainted Pyro takes decreases the strength of the shield. The shield will be broken when hit enough times. The shield regenerates every turn. That is huge. That is exactly how it works right now. If Tainted Pyro starts the turn with the shield active, Tainted Pyro will attack all enemies one time, will destroy max HP, and also heal. And the value of the heal goes up with the amount of shields he had. He'll also, remove freeze if applied on them, but also be susceptible to a 15% turn meter reduction if a freeze is applied. Again, some champions that can apply turn meter control will be good here, but again, turn meter control through freeze is very, very difficult. There's not so many freezes currently in the game that are 100% and without a cooldown like a lore. And considering that this boss might probably have, high amounts of speed, you'll need a lot of freeze to actually have solid control over the boss. decrease the damage inflicted, and yeah, the other two are pretty much the same. And yeah, he's immune to Terminator decreasing effects. He does say it here, but the other bosses do not say immune to Terminator decrease skills. So the spider doesn't say it, the ice golem doesn't say it, and the dragon doesn't say it. Honestly, this is a very pay to win route to go in terms of the awakenings. Okay, it's not that it's going to change anything for all the other players. All right, the new players will not be affected by this. The medium players will not be affected by this. Anybody who's going into the hard mode dungeons will not be affected. It will just make it easier for the end game spenders to actually do damage and receive life damage and complete that content. Okay, it does not affect the arena, so it's not like it causes an imbalance there, but it does indirectly affect it in the sense that people who have more awakenings will be able to farm the dungeons supposedly faster. Okay, and just have a look at the awakenings I have. It's not crazy in terms of the amount of awakenings I have. I have like 1 5-star here, and then mostly epics with high awakenings here, which is obviously easier to get the epics and the rares with high awakenings. That being said, guys, for the next part of the video, we're covering the 10x. I'm gonna do it very quickly because it's not that important in my eyes, but it's some good champions in there. We got 2 Hanarak offered through the 10x. Pretty solid in terms of a void champion, but don't use your voids for a 10x. It's gonna be very hard, and 2 Hanarak will not be such a game changer compared to all the other good voids we usually get through the 10x's. And yeah, just save them. Who knows what's gonna come with the 4th anniversary by Plarium. Theodore the Savant is also offered. This is one I'm actually itching to get one, but it's very difficult to get anything through 10x's. We saw it last weekend. People were going for Harima, but couldn't get her. Theodore is something I really want. I don't know if I'm gonna pull. I've got 16 sacreds. We're gonna have a 2x sacreds next week, right? So probably gonna save all my stuff. Then we have a Necmo. Necmo Thar is also here available. He's a lizard, pretty strong lizard. He wasn't a guaranteed in the past. Very strong for the Hydra. Decreased attack, decreased speed, leech, increased speed, boosting of Terminator. Very strong champion for the Hydra. But other than that, you don't really need him to complete content. He's good though. And then we have Lady Kimi also. So yeah, 2 champions that I don't have, but Lady Kimi I do have. She's nice. She's cool for arenas especially because of her very unique skills. She has both decreased Terminator, increased Terminator, decreased speed, increased speed. Her kit is just amazing. Increased accuracy. She's got a lot of buffs. Very strong aura for the Doom Tower as well, if you want to consider that. And then for the epics, we got some solid epics. Golden Reaper, I'm wondering why they offer her. It's been a while since I saw her being offered in any kind of way, but she has a very unique A1, but it's not why they're offering it. They're offering her because of her increased speed buff, okay, and decreased attack buff here. Pretty strong there. Wouldn't be that happy to get her. She's not used so much. We also have Lady Annabelle, a champion that can actually solo Bomal, so have that in mind. She can solo Bomal. If you get her, do not feed her. She's very strong. Just check out my previous video on her. Just type in Lady Annabelle coldbrew and you'll see it. Then we got Tagoar. I don't even know what faction is this guy, Tagoar. Do I have him? Oh my god, is he one of the new champions? Just to show you guys on how difficult it is when they're adding champions all the time, how difficult it is even for me as a content creator to know, all right, this is a new champion, what is he supposed to be doing? All right, I gotta Google it. I gotta Google what Tagoar does. An epic magic support in the Orcs faction. Wow, I had to Google it to actually find it. There we go. I don't have this guy. Looks weird. He's got a decreased defense, increased speed on everybody, plus a heal, revives all allies. Wow. Plus a shield buff. That is pretty cool actually. In terms of a kit, decrease the damage received by allies with 50% HP or less by 10%. Pretty strong, I'm gonna say, for Tagoar. And then we got Claude. Claude is a very strong champion for the Iron Twins. I would highly suggest people to actually try out Claude for the Iron Twins if they haven't already. Got a very nice shield, Increase speed, increase accuracy. That is very useful for the Iron Twins, requiring like 600 accuracy. Decrease crit rate on the A1 and heal the ally with the lowest HP by 10% at the start of this champion's turn. So pretty solid. Did I just notice he doesn't have a hand? I just noticed this. He doesn't have a hand. Poor guy. So that's it in terms of the second part of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think of these skills that the bosses have, this awakening change that they did? I honestly am a little bit disappointed with how they introduced that into the game. In terms of the bosses, that's going to be something that stays and might be available for future content that comes in. Let's say Hydra, maybe another clan boss, maybe something else in terms of the clan bosses, like a new version of a clan boss, or, you know, a new version of the Doom Tower. That it's going to be a part of the game. They want people to spend on these, and it's pretty sad because, you know, these have such bad drop rates. I just posted a video yesterday showing how bad these are in terms of, you know, getting stuff. I can't believe this happened live while I'm recording and saying that these are bad and they have bad drop rates. What is happening? This is a joke. PLARIUM is listening to me. Okay, it's Pixniel. It's good thing that it's Pixniel because it's like one of the worst champions, but she might be good for the new Fire Knight. What the hell happened now? Oh my god. If you're still watching by this time right now, 22 minutes into the video, then this is a fun surprise for you. Oh my god, let's see the other one. I can't believe I got a 6-star legendary, which is like the worst odds, while I was shitting on PLARIUM. Like the 6% chance plus a 0.5% chance. This happened. Okay, this happened. Oh my god. Like my Pixniel is in the bank and hasn't moved from there. Where's my Pixniel? She's got a freeze, an AoE freeze. She's got just an AoE freeze pretty much. It's not gonna be useful so much for applying freezes. It would have been nice for the Fire Knight, but a 6-star Pixniel. When the test server becomes available, I'll be doing a video on her, guys. 6-star awakened Pixniel video. Just wait on that. Wait on that. You'll definitely have something to see. Look at her. Why is she so low compared to this guy? Maybe it's alphabetical or something. Anyway, guys, this was the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.